we're going to pull our special Big 12 coin back out because we got another 3.5-point spread in the Big 12. Colorado at Texas Tech. Colorado is favored by 3.5 on the road. This is a big, big game for Deion Sanders and company because, Ari, if they win this game, the path gets considerably easier the rest of the way. They would have probably the cleanest path into the Big 12 championship game, though they still need Iowa State to lose. But I think they can get an Iowa State loss somewhere along the line because Iowa State's remaining schedule is tougher than Colorado's. But Colorado's got to beat the team that beat Iowa State first.
Yeah, this is a big game. What's the conference this is in?
This is Big 12.
What's the spread?
3.5.
I'm talking myself into Colorado. And not just in this game. I'm talking myself into Colorado going to Dallas. And I think that they've earned that. They play really good, fundamentally sound football. Travis Hunter is 3 weeks away from potentially locking up the Heisman. I think if he has one of those Travis Hunter games in this one, that might solidify his chances of doing so. I saw that he was a first-team All-American on offense and defense. Like that, to me, that's all I need. Like, I don't know. You want to talk about stats like that? I don't even know how you argue against that. How do you argue against that?
There's plenty of people who will, but you're not going to get it here. Yeah.
Andy, but what is the argument against, like...
You know what the argument is? This is the argument from the people who don't think Travis Hunter should win the Heisman or be... There are people who don't even think Travis Hunter should be considered for the Heisman. And their argument is this, if we give them truth serum. I don't like Deion Sanders. That's their argument, which is a stupid argument. It's the stupidest possible reason to not want Travis Hunter to be competitive for the Heisman Trophy, where he absolutely should be because he's doing something that we have not seen in the sport in over 6 decades.
Colorado has had a lot of big games with pressure just because of the Deion Sanders factor, right? But in terms of pressure as it pertains to path to success on the field, is this the biggest pressure game that Colorado has faced in the Deion era?
Yes, because it's on the road in a notoriously tough place to play against a team coming off a massive win where if you win this one, you are in the best position. Like that is the best position, I think, of anybody in the Big 12 other than BYU, obviously, because they're undefeated. But it puts you in probably the most advantageous position other than BYU to make the Big 12 championship game of that whole glut of contenders. I got to tell you about PrizePicks. Best daily fantasy game in America. Download that app, sign up, use the code STAPLES, play $5, get $50 instantly. You're picking squares. You've got a player attached to a stat category. You decide, is this more than, less than? So the college football board has not been set yet for this week. You're going to start seeing those go up on Monday afternoon because there's MACtion games on Tuesday night. There's Conference USA and Sun Belt games during the week. And then, of course, we've got that Friday Iowa UCLA game. But here's Monday Night Football tonight. Chiefs, Bucks, Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes. Your Baker Mayfield number is 238.5 passing yards, more than or less than. Hope you don't have a Tua situation because remember, Tua was at the more than, and then he throws it to Jalen Waddle, he threw it to somebody else. They were playing pitchy woo-woo at the end of the Bills game, and they end up losing a bunch of yards. And so Tua's passing yardage total goes to the less than. But Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, that's going to be fun on Monday Night Football. So, yeah, get a little PrizePicks play going as you watch the game. Use the code STAPLES, play $5, get $50 instantly.
You go into this game feeling like if you win, there's a very good chance that you control your own destiny in the conference by the end of the Saturday night.
Well, like that I to me is Kansas money line in the Iowa State. Like if Kansas beats Iowa State, they'll know when they kick off if they're in control.
Yeah. And I see this too. I'm going to put this up because I think it's fair. Like Travis Hunter is amazing, but Cam Ward has transformed the entire program at Miami. And like,
can we argue they've both done that?
Like, yeah, it's like, I'm with you. Cam Ward is in my top 3, would be on my ballot if we were voting today. Like, I'm with you. And I know that Miami fans are fired up. Cam Ward deserves a lot of recognition, but like you can't say that while ignoring that we're talking about Colorado potentially.
Like we've seen really good quarterbacks put up big numbers before, like in the last few years. We've not seen this in 60 years. What Travis Hunter's doing.
Has anybody ever been a first-team All-American on both sides of the ball? Like I'd have to look that up. Has that ever happened?
Probably back in the 50s, in the 40s.
Okay, so it's never happened because anything that's happened before 1990 is never happened to me. Like that's the way my brain works.
Oh, actually, speaking of the Big 12 in 1990, a stat that I meant to mention on Saturday, Kenny Dillingham, our pal, the head coach at Arizona State, will be the first coach born in the 90s to coach his team in a bowl game because the Sun Devils are now bowl eligible.
He's doing a great job. They're also playing in a pretty close game. I mean, I don't know if we're picking an Arizona State game. I don't think we are. They're playing UCF, so it's not moving the needle. But they're playing in a 3.5-point spread game too in the Big 12.
No,
they are 6-2. Dude, UCF spreads have been weird all year. All year.
Well, UCF's got a QB now that they feel comfortable about. His last name is Risk. It's spelled R-I-Z-K, but he was awesome against Arizona. So, yeah, Big 12 is nuts. So, Colorado, Texas Tech. What do we think's going to happen in this game? Because, like Baron Morton, I thought played a really good game against Iowa State in the rain. We don't know what the wind's going to be like in Lubbock. That's always a question mark, but obviously he's going to be more used to it than Shedeur is. But Shedeur is the better quarterback in this game. I don't know what to expect. I think Colorado coming off the open date, like getting healthy, and Colorado has gotten better and better every week. I'm going to take Colorado to cover here.
I'm with Colorado too. I look at Colorado's schedule, and it's kind of the same thing I said about A&M, where individually, every single game that Colorado has left on their schedule, like if you just take it one by one, I feel like Colorado has a chance to win or should win. I think they're better than Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State, but winning all of them is going to be tough. Like, I think I'm at the point where I think Colorado is going to put itself in a position to play for the Big 12 championship game, but I still have doubt that they'll be able to win 4 in a row from this point on. So,
because I'm not sure anybody in the Big 12 is going to be able to win their last 4 in a row.
So what I think is going to happen here is I'm probably going to end up picking Colorado every week, and Colorado is going to let me down one of the weeks. But they are having a remarkable season. Like, a lot of credit goes to Deion Sanders for playing good, sound football. Their lines have improved. Jordan Seaton is playing really well at the offensive tackle position. They lead the Big 12 in sacks. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and Travis Hunter's a unicorn. Also, too, like, they have some, like, LeJontay Wester is a really good receiver, right? Like, they have guys on their team that don't get any credit or thought whatsoever because Travis Hunter is so big. But, like, Jimmy Horn Jr. and LeJontay Wester and Travis Hunter might be a top 3 receiver core in the entire country. Except we only ever talk about Travis Hunter. But, like, Jimmy Horn Jr. and Wester, like, make big plays all the time. So, like,
absolutely.
Give me Colorado. I think that they're playing really well. It does, yeah. And that quarterback, too, who I was reading about, like, I told, and I said before the season that, like, I would never believe that Shedeur Sanders is going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. And, like, the thing that I've been reading about is that the number one aspect of what makes a quarterback successful in the NFL is being able to excel under pressure. And I think you can make the case that Shedeur Sanders has the most reps of anybody in terms of
he's the most dirty pocket reps in the country.
Well, I mean, dirty pocket reps, but successful dirty pocket reps. Like, he's made a lot of plays on plays that have broken down. And I think that might be a very attractive thing to the NFL scouts that are going to be evaluating him. So there's a lot to like about Colorado. I've been negative towards this program quite a bit in the past, but this is not the time to be negative. I'm picking Colorado, and I think that they're going to, do something maybe remarkable in health. Dude, if Colorado makes the playoff, I will die.
Please don't. We need you on the show.
I made fun of a lot of people. Like, I was like, because, like, a lot of people I think Vegas took thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of probably millions. I don't know what the stat is of, like, Colorado national championship futures bets. And, like, I still don't think that they're going to win the national championship. But could you imagine if they made the playoff like how much exposure there is to these long shot 200 to 1 tickets that people just have because they like Deion.
Spectacular.